Zdravo I dobrodošli nazad. Textbooks are great and they're usually, logically, the main thing that we use when we want to learn a new language. But if textbooks are your only source of learning Serbian, then you might actually sound a bit too formal, too long, too polite, or sometimes even funny in everyday situations. So today we're going to take a closer look at those sentences and phrases that you can find in textbooks that are totally grammarly correct, but sound a bit off in daily use. Hajde da počnemo. Let's start.
This is Serbian in 5 minutes. Short, simple lessons where you learn real Serbian, the language people use in everyday life, shaped by culture and real moments.
One of the first questions that you're going to learn for the introduction part is šta si po zanimanju? Or šta si po profesiji? What is your profession? But in fact, it's way more common to just say gde radiš? Where do you work? You can reply in the same way as you would reply to šta si po zanimanju. You can say ja sam ekonomista, ja sam programer, ja sam profesorka, anything. Or you can say exactly where do you work. You can say radim u školi, radim u banci. Another question that you can find very, very early in any textbook is this one. Izvinite, da li možete da mi kažete gde se nalazi something? Excuse me, can you tell me where is something located? Sounds too long, sounds completely unnatural, and people would know instantly that you are a foreigner. What we would actually say is, izvinite, gde je, and then the location. Excuse me, where is, and then you can add whatever. Izvinite, gde je Trg Republike? Or izvinite, gde je Narodni muzej? You can maybe add this small addition. Izvinite, jedno pitanje. Gde je, and then the location. Excuse me, one question. Where is something? Way more natural and a lot shorter. You heard in a previous example, izvinite, da li, and da li is a question form in Serbian. But da li is considered too formal, and we would actually use it in a formal communication, mainly in formal written communication, but sometimes not even then. What we would actually say and write is jel, just jel, shorter form from da li. For example, da li govoriš srpski? Do you speak Serbian? What we would say is, jel govoriš srpski? The same meaning, just slightly shorter. Or for example, da li može kafa? Are you for a coffee? You would say, jel može kafa? Just that. Instead of both da li and jel, you can actually sometimes use only može. Sounds a bit weird, I know, because može is mainly sure, but it can be used as a question with a good intonation. For example, da li mogu da platim karticom? Can I pay by card? The most common sentence. You can say slightly faster, jel mogu da platim karticom? Jel instead of da. But what we would actually say is, može kartica? Is card okay? Može kartica. Or if you remember about coffee, you wouldn't ask somebody, da li hoćeš da piješ kafu? Do you want to drink coffee? No. You would just say, može kafa? Just that. Very short, very easy, very simple. Another form that is very common in every textbook, but very uncommon in daily life, is conditional form, this would, polite form. So instead of saying ja bih želeo da naručim or ja bih želela da naručim in feminine gender, I would like to order, what we actually say is jedna kafa, one coffee. No need to say ja bih želela da naručim jednu kafu. Plus, in that form, you need to change jedna kafa to jednu kafu to use accusative, which again makes even more problems. So just jedna kafa. You can also say može kafa. You can say za mene kafa. You can say ja ću kafu. In that case, yes, you do use accusative again, but shorter, so easier. So instead of this whole sentence, ja bih žela da naručim kafu, just može kafa works totally good. Now, imagine that you're in a small local shop where you actually need to say what you want to buy so that the shop assistant can get it for you. This is the sentence you will find in many textbooks. Ja bih želeo, ja bih želela da kupim čokoladu. I would like to buy a chocolate. Totally grammarly correct, but totally unnatural. What we would actually say is ja bih čokoladu. I would chocolate. Of course, you want to buy it, not to steal it, not to eat it there. So you would say ja bih čokoladu, just that. Or something that is even more common but sounds way weirder in English is this. Daćete mi čokoladu. You will give me chocolate. And no, it's not in order. And no, it's not impolite. Daćete mi čokoladu is the way to order in Serbian. Of course, it does depend on your intonation, so don't have rude intonation. And if you want to make sure that you're being polite, that you sound polite, you can always add molim vas, please. Daćete mi čokoladu, molim vas. Or ja bih čokoladu, molim vas. Totally fine. Similar to this is da li biste mogli da mi kažete? Would you tell me? Would you be able to tell me? What you would actually say is kažite mi, tell me. Again, I know it does sound a bit like an order, but in fact, it's not. So you can say kažite mi, molim vas, something. Tell me, please, and then you ask. At the end, I need to say that using textbooks, of course, isn't wrong. They're the very basis of learning a language. But in many, many situations, you will find that what you learned, what you found in textbooks, sound a bit old-fashioned, a bit too formal. So it's always the best to combine both, to combine textbooks and real-life experience, and to practice whenever you can. I would say that real Serbian is shorter, faster, and more direct. Write me what you think and maybe what you found totally different in textbooks and in real life. Hvala puno I vidimo se uskoro. Thank you so much and see you soon.